What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Giga Chad Books. I'm your host, Giga Chad Books. I'm having an exceptional morning. Well, it's actually like 1 p.m., but I hope that y'all are having an exceptional 1 p.m. or whatever time this might find you at. Today, we have a book that I just finished yesterday. We have The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. I thought it was about time that I delved into some feminist literature. I pretty much primarily only read from male authors, so it really has been a goal of mine to read more female authors, just because obviously they're going to, have a different perspective on things, a different way of tackling subjects, and a whole new category of subjects to cover. So, I'm finally starting my feminist literature journey, but I was recommended this by one of my coworkers, and it was a great recommendation. I absolutely love this book. Not so different from what I have read in the past. This is a very sad book. It's very, anxiety ridden and just like suffocating in the sense of just not being able to get away from your own self and your fear of your own inadequacies. I felt that this book had a surprising amount of relation to me. I feel like there were many times where I kind of saw myself in these same sort of experiences. Not to the same degree, because the chick in this book is absolutely going through it. There's a little blurb near the end that's kind of just about Sylvia Plath, about the author, and I felt like this was a very valuable part of the book for me to read. I feel like it brought a little bit more appreciation to what I did already read, and I thought it was a great thing. I really have started to enjoy reading more about the authors and the motivations behind their work, because there's obviously like inspiration that can be found from anywhere. But Sylvia Plath said that this is kind of an biographical apprentice work, which I had to write in order to free myself from the past. A lot of this book has a relation to her own life and to her own experiences, and I was actually very surprised to find that. Like, it's pretty much an autobiography. So the first part of the book starts out in New York City, and I think that she's under like some kind of like fashion apprenticeship. I can't really remember. I don't think that she's in school anymore. I think that she's trying to develop herself and find a path for her career and kind of get like an internship. I'm not quite sure, but she like lives at this hotel with a bunch of other women. Like, it's a women's only hotel, and she's just very involved with like these 12 other students, and you get to know them, and you get to know one of her friends named Doreen, who is absolutely insane. And like, although she loves Doreen isn't really like a good person to her, a good friend to her, and kind of strings her along and drags her through things that she might not enjoy and hooks her up with a bunch of men. It was just very interesting to see her interactions with these different guys and how different they all made her feel, and how they all kind of came together to make her feel inadequate, and like she could never find anything that would really matter to her. And her time in New York comes to like a horrible conclusion before she has to move back home, and she's kind of stuck with a lot of trauma and like a lot of emptiness. And then she moves back home to where it's in Boston, and it's a complete like 180 from the environment that she was in, which is so busy and so full of people. You don't have to worry about the small town syndrome of everybody knowing everybody and everything you do like being under a watchful eye. And she ends up moving back to Boston to like kind of this farmland where there is just not anything going on, and her life becomes very mundane and becomes very, very, very slow and very unoccupied. And this is really where like things start to unravel for her. All of the things that were taken up by the loudness of New York start to take root in the quiet nature of her hometown. and things just like go to shit, man. And I think that's a very like relevant thing, where we get so caught up in like the busyness of life that we kind of don't have to worry about what is going on within ourselves. And moving to a place where you aren't so full of life and experiences, you kind of have to sit with yourself, and that can be very unbearable. And you get the journey through her experiences with that, and through her experiences being under this bell jar, is like how she describes it. Kind of like there's a lot of talk about what even is the word? It's like cadavers, and just like people that have been preserved and stuff. And she kind of feels like somebody that like a baby that has been preserved under a bell jar and is just stuck like in this liquid, or like this stale air of being preserved within like this little enclosure. And she just is stuck within her feelings of inadequacy and her inability to do anything or progress to anything more. And she just can't really accomplish anything that she wants to get done, and is just unsure of what she wants to do with herself. So being trapped under this bell jar, like there's just nowhere else for it to go, and it just sits with her, and to a point, until she really can't deal with it anymore. So the book is kind of just about her trying to find her way out of the bell jar, and being able to let all of the stuff go. I don't know. I thought that this book was a great portrayal of self-doubt. I really enjoyed Sylvia Plath's writing style. Like, it's very, very, very awesome and very descriptive, especially over emotions. And like, she is so good at just like creating metaphors and similes and like using figurative language to really get a message across, because some things can't be described just through pure words. You have to like envelop an image in like some kind of abstract idea. And I think that she does a really good job at that, not only just with her feelings, but also just with being able to picture the world around her. And you just get a very like full realization of everything that's going on. And I thought it was fantastic. I really did enjoy this book. It is definitely a harder read, I would say, just through the sheer content of it. And it definitely made it more difficult for her to get this sort of thing published. And it seems to be like a reoccurring thing as well, where like things with super dark subject matter can, struggle to find publication, or an ability to like get the stuff out there. But like, I mean, this stuff is like pure expression of people, and it's their therapy, and it's also therapy for other people as well. So reading something like this and finding attachment to it can like kind of ground you in a situation and make you realize where you need to grow and how maybe you can start dealing with it. I suggest giving this a try for sure. I don't think it's going to work for everybody, but I think that it can find a lot of relation in people. I think that we're a very anxiety-ridden world currently, and we're so comparative with not only to ourselves but to other people, and just what we should be doing and what we should be accomplishing. So I think that it's a pretty relevant book in today's time, and I think people could find some good quality stuff in here to grow from. So yeah, that's all I got to say, man. I hope I've had a fantastic morning. I hope that y'all have had a fantastic morning too. You should go and sit outside today, even if it's just for a little bit, because I've been sitting outside for like 3 hours. I'm living my greatest old man life currently, and just doing all of the things that I want to do. So you guys go outside and enjoy the nice weather, unless it's really cold. It's not very cold here, but other than that, I hope that y'all have a great day, and thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all soon with another book review. Goodbye. Ladybug on my water cup. This book is also fire. Y'all should totally read it.